Carmen Lerma, a community leader and grandmother, almost didn't make it after COVID-19 destroyed her lungs. But as the recipient of Wisconsin's first double lung transplant, Carmen has a new lease on life. Tori spoke with her earlier in our special series, COVID Miracles.
Carmen, you're sitting here today as a recipient of a double lung transplant due to COVID-19. Can you take me back to when it all started and paint me a picture of what that was like?
It just started back in July. I was exposed to the COVID. I do a lot of work in the community. So I got a call briefly to tell me that somebody had exposed me to the COVID. They were positive, they were around me. That was like on a July 8th. By the time I got the results on the 13th of July, I knew I had it because I had lost the sense of taste, and the fever was very high, and it was a struggle, shallowing, breathing. And by the time the 16th came around, I got up to go to the restroom and I passed out with only 30%, 31% oxygen. Yeah. So that's how it all pretty much started.
Yeah, tell me, what were your lungs like when you got into the ICU? Talk to me about the lungs and continue with your story, please.
I spent 45 days in the ICU with ventilators, with machines all over connected with a CPAP at night, just to make sure that I wasn't, like getting the oxygen that I needed, but they were providing 100% oxygen for me as my lungs were not functioning well. So 45 days later, they said, okay, we got your COVID-free, however, we're gonna send you to the respiratory and pulmonary department so that they can work on your lungs, try to straighten them, and see if we can get them back to working. Unfortunately, that didn't happen. I spent about a month and a half trying, and that's when I got a word from my doctor and the nurses that made a big, huge impact in my life. And that was, there was nothing more we can do for you other than to make you comfortable.
Oh my gosh. What do you think in that moment?
Well, like my whole world came tumbling down. My first thoughts were, how am I gonna tell my family this? And my grandkids, and what do you mean? Is there anything else we can do? It was a shocker to me because I knew what those words meant. My surgeon said that, if they didn't do the surgery really quick, they didn't know how much longer I was gonna have. And a week later after that, I learned that they found a donor. So October 21st was my surgery, and it was a 12-hour surgery.
Oh my gosh. Tell me about the recovery of it.
When they took the tube off my mouth, the doctor just quickly said, on the count of 3, take a deep breath and let it out. And I did just that. That was an amazing feeling to breathe by myself. It was almost, 3 months that I had not been able to do that.
There's got to be a mental aspect that takes its toll of, you almost didn't make it, then someone saved your life and you have a donor. How are you doing mentally?
You have to watch out for everything. There's a lot of things that I was used to doing that I cannot do, so I have to reclassify my brain. I also have to watch what I do and how I do it. And any little tiny bacteria, anything that's like even a simple cold can be tragic for me. If it does go into the lung itself and it catches it in there, the chances are that my body will reject the lungs. And the fact that these are brand new lungs for me, I can get the COVID again. So I have to be really careful. This virus is nothing to be taken lightly. I know it's an inconvenience having that mask all the time and avoiding to go out and partying and having a great time, but we all have to come together. As everybody gathered together and really do this, maybe then we'll be able to get back to what we're, so happy to do. And I'm so looking forward to that.
So let's wear our masks, take this seriously, and do it because of people like Carmen. Thank you so much for taking the time to talk to us. We'll be right back.
You're welcome. It's been a pleasure.